Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. You know, when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys, we're talking about one of the most iconic franchises in NFL history. A team that has been synonymous with greatness, with legendary players, and with a relentless quest for that sixth Super Bowl ring. And yet, even with their storied past, recent seasons have been a roller coaster. Cowboys have been searching for that next piece, that game-changing quarterback who can elevate the team beyond the NFC East and into true championship contention. And right now, there's a lot of buzz around a potential seismic shift, a move that could reshape the division and set the Cowboys on a new trajectory. That shift involves a name you might not expect: Shedeur Sanders. Now, before you jump to conclusions, yes, Shedeur Sanders, the son of the legendary Deion Sanders, is currently making waves in the NFL, but in a very different way. He's with the Cleveland Browns, drafted in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. A pick that many analysts initially questioned, but what's intriguing about Shedeur is not just his talent, but the conversation surrounding his potential future, especially when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Gilbert Arenas, yes, the former NBA star turned football analyst and bold predictor, has just dropped a bombshell prediction that's got everyone talking. He believes that the Cowboys should trade for Shedeur Sanders. That's right, he is saying trade for him because he is destined to be a star, and Dallas is where he belongs. And folks, this isn't just some off-the-cuff comment. Arenas is known for his bold takes, and this one could have serious implications if it ever comes to pass. So what's behind this bold prediction? Well, Arenas argues that Sanders has the kind of swag, talent, and leadership that the Cowboys desperately need. He believes that Sanders, despite being a rookie, has the potential to become the face of the franchise. Imagine that. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback with the swagger, the confidence, and the skills to lead Dallas back to Super Bowl glory. Arenas points out that Sanders was drafted by Cleveland somewhat unexpectedly, and that the Browns might not be the right fit for his long-term development. He suggests that the Cowboys, with their rich history of iconic quarterbacks, would be the perfect landing spot for him, especially considering the market, the spotlight, and the legacy that comes with wearing the star on your helmet. Now, this isn't just about dreams and bold predictions. There are real reasons to think about the possibility of such a move, even if it sounds far-fetched at first. For starters, Shedeur Sanders has shown flashes of brilliance in his limited NFL appearances. In his debut, he completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and added 19 rushing yards. In a game where Cleveland beat the Panthers 30-10, that's a promising start for a rookie adjusting to the league, especially considering the fact that Cleveland's quarterback room is not exactly overflowing with stability. Joe Flacco has been named the starter, but he is well into his veteran years, and Dillon Gabriel is primarily the backup. The Browns are in a bit of a flux, and with injuries and inconsistent play, the opportunity for Sanders to see more playing time could come sooner rather than later. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The Browns' decision at quarterback is heavily influenced by their star pass rusher, Myles Garrett. Garrett, who recently signed a 3-year $160 million extension, has made it clear he's looking for a proven quarterback to help the team compete at the highest level. He has expressed a preference for a veteran presence, someone who can lead the team in critical moments. So, Cleveland might be open to making a move, especially if they see Sanders as a future franchise quarterback. And of course, the Browns are not exactly known for their patience or loyalty when it comes to quarterback stability. If Sanders continues to develop and impress, it is not out of the realm of possibility that Cleveland might consider trading him at some point, especially if a team like Dallas comes knocking with a compelling offer. And this is where the Cowboys could come in. You see, Dallas has a long history of drafting and developing quarterbacks, but lately, they've even been searching for that next guy who can truly take them over the top. Dak Prescott has been solid, but many fans and analysts agree that he is not the ultimate solution when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. The Cowboys have invested heavily in their defense, especially with stars like Micah Parsons, and in their offensive line. But the quarterback position remains a question mark. If Shedeur Sanders continues to develop in Cleveland and shows that he can handle the pressure of the NFL, the Cowboys could see him as a perfect upgrade. A guy with the arm talent, the football IQ, and the swagger to lead this team into a new era. Now, let us take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The Cowboys, under Jerry Jones' leadership, have always been aggressive in making moves, especially when they see a window for success. Jerry has never been shy about making bold trades or draft picks if it means winning. Now remember, he asked the same owner who traded for Amari Cooper, signed DeMarcus Lawrence to a hefty extension, and drafted players like CeeDee Lamb to build around. So the idea of trading for a young talented quarterback like Shedeur Sanders isn't out of the question, especially if the price is right and the potential is clearly visible. And speaking of potential, Sanders has shown that he can perform under pressure. His college days at Jackson State, where he led his team to multiple victories and earned numerous accolades, prove that he has the leadership qualities and the composure to succeed at the highest level. Now he has adjusting to the NFL. And while he is still in the early stages, his initial performances suggest that he could blossom into a star if given the right opportunity and environment. Dallas, with its passionate fan base, storied history, and winning culture could be that environment. Of course, it is not just about the talent and the bold predictions. There are strategic considerations as well. The Cowboys have a roster built to contend, but they need a quarterback who can be more than just a game manager. They need a guy who can extend plays, make big throws under pressure, and command respect in the locker room. Shedeur Sanders has the charisma and the skill set to do just that. Plus, with the NFL evolving into a league where passing and quarterback play decide games more than ever, having a dynamic young quarterback could be the missing piece for Dallas. Now, some fans might be wondering, but what about Dak Prescott? It is a fair question. Dak has been a solid leader and has had some great moments, but the reality is that the NFL elite quarterbacks are often those who can elevate their team in clutch moments. If Sanders continues to impress and the Cowboys see him as their future, it is possible that Prescott could be phased out or traded, freeing up cap space and draft capital to build around the young star. This kind of move could be a gamaker, not just for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFC East. And let us not forget the division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are always aggressive in upgrading their roster. The Giants, with their new coaching staff, are also looking to make a leap, and Washington's rebuilding efforts are ongoing. For Dallas to stay ahead, they need to be bold and innovative. Acquiring a talent like Shedeur Sanders could be that bold move that pushes them over the top. Now, I want to touch on the historical context here. The Cowboys have always been a franchise that values the quarterback position highly. From Roger Staubach to Troy Aikman, from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott, they consistently sought that franchise QB. The idea of bringing in a young, charismatic passer with a chip on his shoulder fits the mold of what Dallas has historically done. And if Sanders can develop into that guy, it could be the start of a new dynasty. But of course, there are hurdles. The Browns might not be eager to part ways with Sanders, especially if they see him as their future. The Cowboys would have to come up with a compelling trade package, perhaps involving draft picks and players to make it happen. And let us be honest, acquiring a quarterback like Sanders would come with risks. He is still inexperienced, and the transition from college or a backup role to a full-time starter is a big leap. But with the right coaching staff, the right environment, and perhaps a bit of patience, the payoff could be enormous. So what does all this mean for the upcoming season? Well, it is a reminder that the NFL is always evolving, and teams are constantly looking for the next big thing. The Cowboys are no different. They always scouting, always planning for the future. Whether it is through the draft, trades, or developing their current roster, the goal remains the same: winning championships. And in that quest, the name Shedeur Sanders is starting to come up more and more as a potential gamaker. In conclusion, folks, this isn't just hype or wishful thinking. It has a reflection of how dynamic and unpredictable the NFL can be. The Cowboys are in a prime position to make bold moves, and the idea of trading for a young, talented quarterback like Sanders could be the move that sets them apart. Whether it is a real possibility or just a bold prediction, by Gilbert Arenas. One thing is for sure, the NFC East is getting more interesting, and Dallas is right at the center of the action. So keep your eyes on this story, because it might just be the beginning of a new chapter for the Cowboys. A chapter where they chase greatness once again, with Shedeur Sanders potentially leading the way. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Do you believe the Cowboys should pursue Shedeur Sanders? Could he be the franchise quarterback Dallas has been searching for? Or do you think it is all just hype and wishful thinking? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Remember, this team is built on passionate fans like you who never settle for less than greatness. And Don T. Forgettle will be back soon with more updates, more insights, and more Cowboys news. So stay tuned. The season is approaching and the story is just beginning. Thanks for being here. And as always, go Cowboys.